Welcome to iLecture Online. Now let's talk about the concept of capacitance. Well, whenever we talk about capacitance, it is associated with the capacitor, the object that stores charges. But by definition, we can say that the capacitance of a capacitor, so we don't separate the two, it's the capacitance of a capacitor, is the amount of charge a capacitor can hold when a potential difference is placed across the plates. And we'll see in just a moment what that depends on. So here we have a little drawing. We have a symbol of a capacitor, which is just simply two little lines, which indicates it's two parallel plates that are very closely spaced together. And you attach a battery to that capacitor. So we have the positive end of the battery on one side and the negative end of the battery on the other side of the capacitor. That forces charge onto that capacitor. And by definition, the capacitance of that capacitor is equal to the amount of charge that capacitor can hold when a certain amount of potential difference is placed across those the two terminals or the two ends of the capacitor. So, what does that depend on? Well, three things. A capacitor has three specifics that we need to look at that depends upon how much charge, how much capacitance that the capacitor has. First of all, it depends on the size or the area of the plates. In other words, if you were to double the size of the area or to double the size of the plates, you would have double the capacitance. Notice we use the letter C, and it should be capital letter C, so let me make it a little bit bigger so you can see that. So the amount of capacitance simply is proportional to the amount of space you have to put charges on it. You double the space, you double the amount of charge. It's kind of like a parking lot. You double the parking lot, you have twice as much space for cars. And here you double the parking lot, the plates, you have twice as much space for charge. Secondly, the separation distance between the plates. So here it's kind of non-intuitive. It turns out the closer you bring the plates, the more charge you can store on them. In a way, it does make sense because the closer you bring the plates, the more effect the charges will have on one another. In other words, since you're building up an electric field here and you bring the plates closer together, then what we call the potential gradient, the potential difference, will then be the same number but over smaller distance, and therefore there's a greater effect and a greater ability to store charge. So in other words, if you halve the distance between the plates, you can hold twice as much charge with that capacitor. And finally, the dielectric constant of the dielectric that's in between the plates. Now, we can either have air between the plates or we can put some sort of insulator or what we call a dielectric between the plates. And those dielectrics have what we call a dielectric constant. We'll talk more about what that is later. But the dielectric constant is a number anywhere from 1 to something that could be very large. And so what happens is, if you double the dielectric constant of the material you put between the plates, you will double the capacitance of that capacitor. And we'll see later also why that is so. So essentially, we then come up with an equation where the capacitance of a capacitor is equal to the dielectric constant times the permittivity of free space times the area of the plates divided by the distance, the separation distance between them. So here's defined. We have the dielectric constant. It'll be 1 for a vacuum. It's a slightly over 1, but essentially still 1 in air. So when you have just air between the plates, just call K1. And then for some dielectric constants, it's 2, 3, 4, 5 for typical materials that we put between the plates. The permittivity of free space, we've seen this before. Here's the number, 8.85 times 10 to the minus 12 coulombs squared per Newton meter squared. That's something we saw when we dealt with the electric field and when we dealt with Coulomb's law. Here, A is equal to the area of a plate, one of the plates. And this is sometimes confusing. Sometimes you think, well, don't I need to add the area of both plates together? No, in the case of this equation, it's only the area of one plate. It's assumed that the other plate has the same area, but we only take one plate and take the area of that one plate. And finally, the separation distance. And again, the closer you bring the plates together, the more capacitance the capacitor has. There are some limits to how close you bring the two plates together, because if there's a large potential difference between the plates and you bring them too close together, the charges could potentially jump across the gap. and it's something we'll explore later as well. So there are some limitations, but again, the closer you bring the plates, the greater the capacitance. So this gives you a fairly good concept of what capacitance is. One more thing, the unit of capacitance is called the farad, named after Faraday, and 1 farad by definition is a coulomb divided by a volt. And we'll again talk about that a little bit more. But this gives you a fairly good concept now of what capacitance is, along with the first video, what we dealt a little bit more about the concept of a capacitor. And so now we have the basic principles ready to use to understand capacitors better when we start talking about circuits. So if you're interested, stay tuned. We'll show you some more videos.